Okay, so before I dive in and go over the steps for laying out pictures and the text for your Createspace book, a couple of key points that I want to point out. As regards the illustrations, I've got an example here, one of the illustrations from my Waffle Hopper's Curious Maple book. And as you can see, the illustrator has put the little fold real close to this line here. A little bit will be cut off when the book is actually being printed out. It will be cut a little bit, and then this will be the fold. This is actually going to be the fold of the book. So what will happen is kind of the part of the tail will be missing. So I didn't want that to happen. So make sure when you create your images that you kind of center the image, so that when it actually goes to press and the book's printed out, that nothing's kind of chopped off. I mean, it doesn't matter about the trees. See the trees cropped off here. That doesn't matter about the tree being cut off. But the main characters in your book, you don't really need them chopped off. So just make sure that the characters are kind of centered or away from the edge. So when the book is bound, you don't have part of their body missing off. All right? And the other point I want to mention is make sure when you write your book and you have your manuscript written and everything that you have it professionally edited. All right. That way, I should say, the worst thing that can happen is you don't bother having your book professionally edited. Your book goes up on Amazon and somebody reads your book and they notice all these editing issues or grammar issues, and they give you a 1-star review, and that's it. That's already damaged your book. So other people that come along and look at your book, they can see the 1-star reviews. So is that really going to encourage them to buy your book? I don't think so. So have your book professionally edited. Make sure it's laid out, that the editor will lay it out correctly. The editor will make suggestions. Now it's up to you as to whether you act on those suggestions. It's your book, it's your manuscript. So if you don't like what they put, then leave it as it is and just let them know that you want to keep it that way, and just make sure that they actually correct it for grammar. That's what I highly recommend, is have it professionally edited. You can have it done through Createspace. It's like $300 to have it done through Createspace. Definitely worth having that done. All right, so that's my couple of tips. Let's get to how to format a picture book for Createspace. And don't forget to watch my other video when it comes time to publish your book. Make sure you watch my other video, which is called how to self-publish a children's picture book using Createspace. Make sure you watch that one because it goes through step by step on the whole process of publishing your book to Createspace. Okay, so let's get started. So what we start with is we go to Google and we type in picture book template for Createspace. All right, and then what we need is Createspace community interior template. We access the template through here, scroll down the page, and then you select. This is actually a format for novels, chapter books and things like that. Here is this is for the picture book. So what we need to do is go down whatever your trim size is going to be. For my Waffle Hopper books, my trim size was 8.5 by 8.5. So what I do is go across here and click on this and download the actual template. So now let's open that up. Okay, so get the basic template. Now what I've done here is this is the information. It's just a one page. So of course, like with when you work in Word, the more content you put on here, it will add more pages. But what I want to show you here, when I'm laying out an image, let me show you the Waffle Hoppers here. This is how I'm laying it out. I actually have my opening page, my copyright, an ISBN number, my dedication, and then I start with the chapter. And I start the layout here. The easiest way to see the actual layout and how it's set is to click on the tab here. And let me just go back to the first page. As you say, you can see it's got the little tabs here. So it's for the positioning. It's positions everything. So there's the positioning. So that helps you as regards the layout. Let me just go back to that first page again. So the way it starts out with me, click on this and you can see it already puts in the positioning of this, the little tab. All right. So when you delete this, what's already in here before you start typing, as you can see, as soon as you start typing, this does not go away. Even if you try to remove it, the tab will not go away. So no matter how much you start typing and what you start typing, see, so it stays there. So just remember that when you're actually typing. So let's remove that. Like that. So see, no matter what, it just stays there. So the best way, I'm going to click out of this, start doing the layout. I set my format. So what it helps me is to actually also use under view the grid line. Because it's important, I mean, just because you're self-publishing a book doesn't mean to say that it has to look self-published. You need to make it look as professional as possible. So I found that by using the grid and the little tabs, it helps me position my text and my images. The way I'm laying out the book is image, text, image, you see, image, text, image, text, image, text. So to bring in an image into platform, I click within the page. I can see all the little tabs. Even though I have nothing on here, the tabs are here. So what I do to bring in an image is go to Insert, click on Picture, and then go to the file where my picture's kept. And I keep everything in a particular folder so nothing mixes up. So I'm now going to bring in my latest image, which is 17. So I click on that, click in Insert. Alright, so it's ended up over here. I need it on this page. So what I'm going to do, it's already selected, I click on Position, and then I'm going to click on Tight. What's important here is this template is 8.5 by 8.5. So what I need to make sure I do is make sure the picture 8 point, and I add a little bit more, so I'm making it 8.53. I'm just going to go by 8.53. Then I grab hold of this and move it over to the page. And there it is. So as you can see, the picture's in position. I can move it over a little bit if need be, but the picture is in position where I need to be. Alrighty, so that's in position. Move it over maybe a little bit. Okay, so I moved it over a little bit. So now it's exactly where I need it to be, the picture. Now for the text, going once again, just click on the page. Right now it's positioning itself there. I found the easiest way to keep track of when I'm publishing a book is when I'm copying the text, is when I copy it, is to just highlight each section so I don't duplicate the content. Alright, so you highlight the text that you need, right click, copy. What I usually do is once I've taken it, I will highlight that. So I know I've copied that over. Go back to my document and then I paste it in. So as you can see right now, it's actually right. It's not positioned correctly. Also, the text is smaller than I want to be. So once again, highlight it again. Make sure the font size is the correct size you need to be within the book. First of all, I need to make sure it's got some more space from that set. So I'm going to move it over. Move it in another 1/2 inch. And the same here, I'm going to position it in from the side. That way it does the indentation as it's supposed to be displayed, and it also, so when the book is bound, the text is pretty much, centered. It's the book will be cut a little bit. There's the binding going to be here, so it's nice enough away from the edge. And make sure that all your pages are positioned the same too. They're all indented exactly the same distance from that edge as well as that edge. They all are indented exactly the same. That way when they turn from page to page, it looks much more professional. All right. Now, as you can see, I'm starting my text a certain distance down too. So that's when you look at the book too, you want to, it turns the page, the text should be positioned exactly the same. You don't need to be looking further up the page or down or searching around the page for where your text is begin. That's fine if you're going to be doing little images all over the place, that's going to happen. But if you like to begin with, when you start doing a Createspace book and self-publishing it yourself, start simple. Start with one image on one side and the text on the other, and the more you get familiar with the layout and using Word, you can get a lot more creative and get a little fancy with it. If you're proficient at Word, and then by all means jump right in and start doing little pictures here and there within the text and everything else like that. But if you're not familiar with Word and the layout and how to position things, just start simple and just start with a picture on the left and the text on the right. So as you can see, I'm actually, all my text starts the same distance down. All starts so many squares down. It's 18 squares down. It's a little tedious doing this, but it actually starts 18 squares down. So I will position this. Now the best way to do that, of course, is to just jot it down. Just click the enter key to make it drop down, and then we need to just, unfortunately, it'll say, as I mentioned, it's a little tedious, but count the squares. So I want 18 squares. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18. So as you can see, 18 squares right there. I'm a little too high. Now if I go like that, it's going to go too high up. So what I need to do is use these little tabs. If you highlight these two tabs using your left mouse, what you can do here is make the font smaller. You see how that jumped up? I think that's gone up a little too far. So let me take it to about 9. Nope, that still looks like a little too small. So let's try 10. Or even maybe 11. Okay, so I found that to be the easiest way to change the position of my text to push it down, is to utilize these little tabs and use the text size. That way the text will go up and will go down. Perfect. It's exactly where I needed that to be. 18 squares down, position correct. So that's all set there. Then I will save it and then get my next image. Click on that and then just keep going throughout the thing. So hopefully that's helped you a little bit. If you have any questions, just contact me. But that I found is the easiest way to lay out my book for Createspace using Word. Okay, thank you for watching.